Barely a few months ago, the children in this classroom were being given an education of a very different kind. These teenagers were child soldiers, allegedly forced by the Tamil Tigers to fight against the Sri Lankan military. The story told by this teenager is typical of everyone else here.
My parents didn't know I was a soldier. They thought I'd managed to cross the line to safety, but I got caught. They tied me up in a tree and whipped me, and after that they gave me a 10-day training course, taught me to shoot a rifle and sent me into battle.
This week, a US State Department report detailed accusations of atrocities carried out by both the government and the Tiger rebels during the final months of the conflict. It included claims that the Tigers had forced children as young as 12 to fight for them. Now, these scenes are all part of what the government says is a comprehensive rehabilitation scheme. It covers everything from proper food and medical care to their studies. And the government wants to train them in a new kind of loyalty, one that involves learning Sinhalese and singing the national anthem. It's a far cry from the sounds they've grown used to for years. After a quarter century, the Sri Lankan military succeeded in crushing the Tamil rebellion in May. The military offensive won out against those fighting for a separate Tamil state. But now the government has to contend with two major problems. The first is how to care for several 100,000 Tamils who fled the fighting and for now have no homes to return to. These are civilians who were caught up in the fighting and who now live in improvised camps. The other problem is the roughly 10,000 rebel fighters who are either captured or who surrendered. And among them are hundreds of children like this.
When people started to flee, I ran away from the Tigers and came home. My parents were very happy. I told them that we must cross over to the army side. As we were going, the Tigers shot at us. I dived down to escape the fire, but the rest of the family mingled with the crowd, and we all finally managed to get across.
The military officials in charge of these rehabilitation camps say their main priority is to restore some semblance of normality for these children. They claim that for the most part psychiatric evaluations of these teenagers have been positive. But after what these children have seen and been forced to endure, normality is probably still a long way away. Tom Metcalf, Al Jazeera.